So we are over a week into the NBA season. I want to do something fun because we can look back on this and see how much has changed throughout the course of the NBA season. I want to give you my award picks after the first week and a half of the season. And this is just to highlight wow, I can't speak. And this is just to highlight a bunch of different players and how well they've been playing so far. Also, before we get into this, some two notable not picking up of team options happened, and that was the LA Lakers declining the third-year option. You don't see this very often, especially for a first-round pick that hasn't had any legal trouble, off-the-court issues. It's just been on individual play, and they declined Jalen Hood-Schifino's, who was their first-round pick in 2023's team option next year. This is the last year JHS is going to be a Laker, so you'd have to think they're going to think about moving him sometime soon. This reminds me of when the Suns did the same thing with Jalen Smith. Now, he was picked 10th overall back in the 2020 draft. But will the Lakers look to move JHS, who really has only played 21 games in his career last year? He averaged 5 minutes a night in those 21 games, and he hasn't gotten a shot this year at all. Maybe it's because he's just been that bad in practice. And I like JHS coming out of Indiana. I thought he was definitely worth a first-round pick, and I didn't mind the Lakers taking a chance on him at that time. I feel like they haven't really given him a true shot, but maybe behind the scenes, he's just been that bad, and the Lakers are cutting bait right now. It's worth $5 million next year, so they're going to save that money against the luxury tax. And I wonder if they're just going to flip them for maybe a second-round pick swap or something at this year's trade deadline. I feel like that's inevitable right now. And then the Bucks also declined Marjon Beauchamp's fourth-year team option as well. So he's going to be off the Milwaukee Bucks at the end of this year at the minimum. There's a chance, though, he could be traded at this year's deadline as well. I feel like he could be some type of trade asset for Milwaukee since they don't have many of those. And right now, it looks like there's a clear gap between them and the Boston Celtics in the Eastern Conference. And they may look to use Marjon Beauchamp's salary to enhance this roster and improve it on the margins. And I just feel like they fumbled his development as well. Honestly, since Giannis and Middleton were great development projects for Milwaukee, they haven't really done a good job developing players. Bobby Portis was already developed, Drew Holiday, Brook Lopez, all these veterans they had, PJ Tucker, Wesley Matthews, they were all developed somewhere else. And internally, Milwaukee has done an abysmal job. Maybe something happens with AJ Green or AJ Johnson from the draft, but they had massive L's on Marjon Beauchamp, Thon Maker, DJ Wilson. There's been definitely some misses for the Milwaukee Bucks since they drafted Malcolm Brogdon 36th overall back in the 2016 draft. So let's start off with my MVP pick. And I think there's between three guys that have been the best players in the league so far. I think you could talk about Jason Tatum, Anthony Davis, and Nikola Jokic. And this is always going to be the debate. What is your MVP criteria? Do you want to look at on and off numbers? Without this player, would they be one of the worst teams in the league? And if it's that criteria, Nikola Jokic is definitely the MVP. This team has been the worst team in the NBA when he is not on the floor. They had to go to overtime against Toronto, overtime against Brooklyn. They couldn't beat the LA Clippers. And Jokic is averaging 31.5 points, the most points in the NBA, 12 rebounds, 9 assists, over a steal, and block a night. He's shooting 57% from the field, 50% from three, and this guy has been carrying the Denver Nuggets right now. He's averaging 39 minutes a night throughout his first 4 games of the season, which would be by far a career high if that stays around that number throughout the course of the season. So I think Nikola Jokic is putting the team on his back. He's making the winning plays. He looks aggressive. He looks like he's trying to carry this team right now. But I think if you want to give it to two other guys, I really like Anthony Davis because Anthony Davis has been a monster inside the paint this season. The threes have been happening a little bit more to start off the year. They fizzled out a little bit. He hasn't been shooting great from downtown. So good around the rim with his touch, mid-range, everything like that, working the pick and roll. He has been a beast under JJ Redick's system, and he's also looked great on the defensive side of the floor as well. And then, yeah, like I said, Jason Tatum, you could also mention him because he has been unreal this year for the Boston Celtics. Jokic is tied with Tyrese Maxey for the most points in the NBA, and then you have Anthony Davis right behind them, and then Jason Tatum is currently fourth. He's averaging 30 points, 48% from the field, 37% from three. He's getting to the free throw line. He's playing good defense, 7 rebounds. He's playmaking well, 5 assists a night. It's really tough who I want to go to because if you're looking at pure records, I think it's got to go to Tatum. I'm usually somebody that's like, the MVP should go to the best player on the best team, if that was a tiebreaker to it. But Jokic has been so good, and I think they'd be nowhere without him. But Anthony Davis has also been unreal as well. So it's really tough picking an MVP after a week and a half. I'm going to go with Anthony Davis just because I think he's been elite on both ends of the floor, and I don't think the Lakers get off to this good start without him. Oh God, this is going to be like a Lakers video, isn't it? Because my rookie of the year right now is Dalton Connect. I made a video yesterday on how bad the rookie class has been so far, and I think guys defensively have been stepping up. Like Donovan Clingan's been good defensively. Yves Missi, Zachary Risachet, and Alex Sarr, even though they've been inefficient on the offensive side of the floor, they've been good defensively. But I'm going to go with Dalton Connect right now, and that makes me feel good because he was my preseason pick. and the odds were not very high for Connect. He was not in the top 5 in odds to win this award. He's averaging 8 points out of the gate. He's shooting 45% from the field, 35% from 3, and I know those aren't anything sexy by any means, but the bar isn't very high for rookies. I think he's probably been the best offensive, like, score first rookie. I think you can also give some love to Jamal Shed in Toronto. It's pretty much, what do you value more, Connect's offense or Shed's defense? Because Shed has been unreal defensively. I think even me see Ryan Dunn could also get some love as well. You know what? I'm actually changing my pick. I'm not going with Dalton Connect this far into the season. Let me throw my bias because I predicted him preseason out the window. I still think he can win that award throughout the course of this year, but it's Ryan Dunn, because Ryan Dunn is averaging 8 points. He's averaging 2 rebounds, but he's shooting 52% from the field, 44% from 3, and he has been unreal defensively. Against the Lakers, Mavericks, and Clippers, I think he has done a very solid job on the defensive end of the floor. He has a positive net rating in 3 of his 4 games, and I don't think he was the reason why they ended up losing to the Clippers. He only appeared in 8 minutes in that game. Anyway, so yeah, I'm going to go with Ryan Dunn as my rookie of the year right now. Most improved, I mean, also, we're just so early into the year, but I just want to give a shout out to Ivica Zubac. I think this man has done an incredible job. I talked about him a little bit in detail in a couple of videos ago, but I just want to give a shout out to what he's done so far this year. 18.5 points, 13.5 rebounds, 3.5 assists. He's shooting 55% from the field, and he is definitely taking advantage of this new opportunity with the increase in volume because Paul George left, Kawhi Leonard is hurt, and yeah, he didn't have the greatest game against the Portland Trailblazers. Shout out to Klingon and Aiden that played on Zubac very well, but he had a really good start off to the year, and I want to give Ivica Zubac that credit. I think Coach of the Year has to go to JJ Redick right now. He's a new head coach, so obviously that's going to help you with the narratives, and I don't think people thought that the Lakers were going to get out to this good start. Yeah, they had a letdown game against the Cleveland Cavaliers, so I think it's JJ Redick would be my coach of the year. But if you also want to give some love to Kenny Atkinson, the first time head coach in Cleveland, they are 5-0, and they've also beaten the New York Knicks and the LA Lakers. So you know what? I think I'm changing my mind on the spot here again. I think I got to go with Kenny Atkinson as my coach of the year. The Cavs have looked great so far this season. They're the best offensive team in terms of offensive rating. They are the 3rd best defensive team in terms of defensive rating. So yeah, I got to go with Kenny Atkinson here. I'm changing my mind on the spot. So I thought I was going to go with AD MVP, Connect Rookie of the Year, and Coach of the Year is JJ Redick. And I don't even like the Lakers like that. But no, I'm going to go with Ryan Dunn, Rookie of the Year, and Kenny Atkinson, Coach of the Year. 6th Man of the Year, I'm going to give some love to Trey Mann in Charlotte. I predicted him to win this award after seeing that preseason as well. I like Dante DiVincenzo a ton and Naz Reid and Malik Monk, but then I was kind of going towards Trey Mann, and he is actually so enjoyable to watch, especially on the offensive end of the floor. 20 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. He's shooting 45% from the field, 43% from 3. He has yet to miss a free throw. He's playmaking well. He's not taking terrible shots, and he's honestly keeping the Hornets in games because Miles Bridges has been inefficient to start off the year and inconsistent. Brandon Miller is already banged up, and Trey Mann has been the 2nd most reliable guy on this team after LaMelo Ball. And for my defensive player of the year, this could change so much throughout the year, but I'm going to go with Chet Holmgren of the Oklahoma City Thunder. Chet has been so good on both ends of the floor. I don't think he should be in conversations for most improved player. We knew Chet had this lead to him, and he's taking that lead this year so far, but he is averaging 3.5 blocks, 1.5 steals, and the Thunder are the best team defensively in the NBA in terms of net rating. So Chet is the best defender on the best team. He's got the counting stats for it. Yeah, Chet is my deep boy right now. And pretty much I just wanted to highlight these guys throughout the start of their NBA seasons. It's cool to just talk about Ivica Zubac in this way, or Ryan Dunn. I don't know if these guys are going to fizzle out from being in these award conversations all year long, but it's cool to just have them in there right now. And I also thought it was really interesting that Marjon Beauchamp's team option got declined. Same with Jalen Hood-Schifino. I know he hasn't been good, but man, they picked him over Brandon Podziemski, Cam Whitmore, Jaime Jaquez. Yeah, it's not looking too good for that draft pick, and that is the same regime that's currently running the show in LA. At least it looks like they hit on this most recent first-round pick in Dalton Connect. But yeah, that is going to be for me. I hope you guys did enjoy. Drop a thumbs up if you did. Let me know your award picks after the first week and a half of this season in the comments below. I'd love to hear who you guys have. Maybe I was wrong about one of these. Please let me know down below, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.